Hi all. Just before we proceed to the next exercise, I really want to say thank you to everyone who's watching and supporting the channel. Just to confirm, the course itself will cover the following models, and the following models are included in the package. So savings and sinking fund, subscription tracker, and net worth, stock investments, crypto tracker, budget template, business expense dashboard with extreme the detailed analytics advanced stock portfolio tracker. And as a bonus to everyone who's going to be able to purchase the course material, we'll have also all-in-one stocks and crypto, the updated version of the crypto, 50, 30, 20 templates, ultimate budget template, stock options trading, and crypto futures trading, and also debt management. So in totality, there'll be 15 models. So this is it. And now, once again, thank you so much. And let's jump to the next one.
Okay, so let's move on to part number 3. And part number 3 will move on to the contributions tracker for now. I think it's very clear in terms of the titles of the column names that we want to have the date, any description, reference to the goal, the amount, and any note taking. Now, please note that any note taking, once again, in respect to your goals or description, are going to be optional. Therefore, just want to create a nice optional way to record any notes that you want to remember about the goals. But there are also some critical parts that we want to add. So, for example, the date. Once again, if I'll, instead of typing 6 May 2025 manually and then retyping this again, all I want to do is then I want to actually to make sure I'll have this column B between cell B6 and actually the rest of the column B will be validated as a date. As simple as we will be doing the Control Shift down to make sure I'll cover all the cells within my tab, within my spreadsheet, and I will go to the data validation, add a rule, drop down, once again, use a validate, press enter, perfect. There you go. Once again, description will be optional. I will add two notes that these are optional as well to make sure that we're fine with this. I'll close for now. I'd rather should not be closing because right now what I want is that I want to add the goal. And the goals to create the goal reference, all we need to do is actually to create a data validation referencing the goals overview, our main goals. So how do you do that? Once again, Control Shift down, I'll select the whole range of my column, then I'll go to data validation, add a rule. From the criteria, I want to select drop down from a range, and then I'm actually go back to my goal or overview where I have my goals. I will click on select the data range from my option. I will then select my goals here so you can see the reference goals overview. Between the range will be between the cells B24, B33. Press OK. Now, to keep it as simple as possible, advanced options. I'll keep the arrow. Done. Close, complete the data validation rules. Go back to the contributions tracker, and there you go. You see these arrows here. All I need to do right now is I'm going to type, for example, my emergency fund, then my house deposit, then my holidays, then my goals, goal number 4, goal number 5, goal number 6, goal number 7, goal number 8, goal number 9, and goal number 10. As simple as that. And now all I will do, for example, I will do Control C also, Control V. Actually, I can do this Control C, Control V. And then the amount, What I will do right now is that I would like to copy my monthly targets here. And this is where essentially right now we have very much our contributions tracker set up. One thing before I copy the amounts, I want to have the following formula, and this is how it's going to work. So if, because I forgot, I want to add my currency here as well. So if the cell B6 is empty, I want to return empty. I want to return nothing. Otherwise, I'm going to go to my goals overview, and I will again, once again, have a reference to the goals, to the cell goals overview M3. Then I will completely have an absolute reference to it, close the brackets, press enter. Then all I need to do is that I'll need to press Control C, Control Shift down, Control V. And what it does is that in a couple of simple clicks, I've pasted the formula in each one of the cell for the specific row within the column E. So you can see right now, we have now the dollar signs here. Once we start adding the date here, so for example, if I'll add the date here, so right now if I'll move to the June, you can see the dollar sign appears here. And this is, once again, this is the logic behind this formula. So all I need, if I'll delete this date, once again, the dollar sign disappears. All I need to do right now is actually go to my goals. All I need to do right now is go to my goals. Let's suppose that in May, we've managed to be on track with our monthly targets. So right now, I want just to speed up a bit the process and explain how it will look like. So for example, right now, all I want to do is I want to press Control C here, and then here in the amount, because the amount is the same for each one of the goals, I want to edit. I will paste special. I will put values only. This is perfect. So you can see, and this would be the realistic scenario if I would start, or you would start contributing towards your savings. And this is how it's done essentially. And there is one more thing. So essentially the contribution tracker is done, but there is one more thing that I want to be including in our part 3. And this is, you recall that we actually have the remaining amount is simply this kind of the starting amount, the total amount minus the starting amount. And this is something that obviously it's good, but it does not reflect the overall picture, at least no longer, because we have now contributions. There are many ways you can actually reflect those. You could have actually, and we could have created another column here with the contributions, which would give actually a good oversight. But in the meantime, to keep it, but as an alternative to the solution, and just to remind that sometimes certain formulas, certain templates, or the white template that you create, you want to reduce the amount of information. So what I will do is that I will need to create a SUMIFS function, which will pick up which will take the amount from the contributions tracker in respect to the specific goal, and will deduct automatically the remaining. Will add to the will deduct, actually will subtract that sum will be deducted also from the remaining to make sure we are calculating well the remaining amount. So what do I need to do right now? So all I need to do is obviously that we have now we have a simple subtraction between the total and the starting. All I need to do is that I need to type minus SUMIFS formula, and all I need to do is as simple as go to my contributions tracker. I will, as my sum range, I will be selecting the column F, and therefore between the F6 and the rest of the column F, I will have an absolute reference to it, then press comma, and for my criteria range, I will be selecting the column D, and therefore between the range between D6 and D, the cell D6 and D, and I will absolute reference this particular again range, so I don't want it to move. There is, as you can see, I had the dollar signs here, comma, and then all I need to do, go back to my goals overview, and I need to select this part here to my criterion, which in this case will be my goal name. For this time around, I will actually follow the same logic, same principle, and I will actually do the reference. I will have a relative reference to my column, which means I will lock the column B. This is optional, but I do prefer to do it like this. So once again, I'll press enter, and there you go. Now, given that our contributions take that we have contributed our monthly target in our May in the May 2025. This means that our remaining amount is now $1,250 less than before. So all I need to do right now is I can actually Control C, Control V, and this right now, hopefully, as you can see, if I'll press enter, so you can see that actually my contributions right now, so sum ifs, let me just double check that everything is calculated absolutely fine. So let's go back to sum ifs, and there we go. So all we need to do is goal so we have two sides of goal number 9, which is fine by the way, but I want to make sure that we have everything is right. So I want to make sure each one of the goals is being contributed. So I need to change this to goal number 10. And finally, there we go. And this is actually something that no longer is valid. So for example here, because we need to take into consideration that the remaining amount is no longer the amount, just the difference between the total and the starting, but it's rather the remaining amount, which has been the right way of doing this sum. So all I need to do is that I need to sum this range, close the brackets, press enter. You can see this is our remaining amount, and now everything works just fine. And you can see that we made automatically the progress towards our savings and sinking funds goal. So there we go. We'll have a few more changes here, but nevertheless, that we are doing a very nice progress in respect to our building the savings and sinking funds. And now let's move on to the next part.